Episode of NBA Central. This is the NBA Central preview show. We come to you guys every morning. I'm your host, Big Bro, Big Kev. Steve O is usually with me, but he hasn't been in to take care of, so I'm gonna hold it down today. We're gonna talk about the Lakers versus the Suns tonight and all of the NBA action that's going on, and last night's game of the night between Utah and Oklahoma City. But before we get into all of that, y'all already know what to do.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac Boys.
All right, all right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I think it's Friday around these parts. Let's get into the weekend. Man, we'll go right over the standings real quick as we get in the last week of the NBA season. A couple of games left, 2 games left pretty much for everybody in the Eastern Conference. Everything's pretty much set in your top five, 6 through 10. Still has a few questions. Toronto has an opportunity to jump Atlanta into that eighth spot, and then Miami still has a chance to get out of the play-in and into the playoffs if they can overtake Brooklyn. That's pretty much all the movement that's available to happen in the Eastern Conference, and then in the Western Conference. Memphis has a chance to tie Denver, but I think Denver might hold the tiebreaker in that situation. Sacramento has an opportunity to tie Memphis. I'm not sure what the tiebreaker situation is in there. Phoenix is pretty much locked into that 4 seed, but that 5, 6, 7, and 8 spot, and ninth and 10th spot, and 11th spot, frankly, all have opportunities to make changes over the next few days. As you see, the Clippers and Golden State are tied. Look, the Lakers and New Orleans are tied, but they're an opportunity to overtake as high as the 5th spot. And then Minnesota is behind those guys, but they can jump as high as 10th as well. I mean, it's great. I mean, as high as 6th or 7th as well. So it's still crazy out west with all of these guys within 1 or 2 games of each other. And then Oklahoma City still holds their own destiny in their hands with a couple of games left to go in front of Dallas. Dallas has some work to do. They're half a game behind Oklahoma City. Last night, Oklahoma City went ahead and took care of business versus Utah, knocking those guys right on out the play-in situation. So Utah, shout out to them for having an interesting season. When they came into the season, everybody thought that by them trading Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert and a couple of other players, that they were kind of just tanking for Victor Wembanyama. But Danny Ainge and company went out there and put together a good roster. Lori Marketing took care of business, became an all-star. Jordan Clarkson still is who he is. And Utah was in the playoff or the play-in tournament mix all the way up until the last couple of games of the season. So shout out to those guys, and they still might get Victor Wembanyama. Who knows? Who knows? All right, so we're going to talk about a few games tonight. We got the Lakers versus the Suns facing off against each other, and just like we just saw, the Suns are in the 4th seed. They're pretty much locked into there. They're on a 7-game winning streak right now. They had a pretty good game with last night against Denver. I know they held them off. KD had about 6 threes, I believe. Chris Paul had a career high 7 threes, and Phoenix emerged victoriously. So then you have the Lakers, who are sitting at 41 and 39. They're looking to make some moves, at least to have an opportunity to jump as high as the 5th seed tonight. So that Lakers versus Phoenix game tonight is a big one if the Lakers want to avoid the play-in tournament. So I'm actually going to go with the Lakers tonight to win this game. Phoenix is coming off a back-to-back. They're going to be kind of riding high after last night, after Chris Paul reaching a milestone so late into his career. Shout out to Chris Paul. And the Lakers know what they got to do. They laid an egg the other night on their back-to-back against the Clippers, and it just didn't work out for the Lakers there. So I'm going to pick the Lakers, picking LeBron and AD to go out there and do what they're supposed to do to at least have an opportunity to not have to be in the play-in tournament. And man, that'd be damn near, damn near a miracle if the Lakers find themselves out of the play-in tournament, considering that they were as low as the 14 seed earlier this year, even when LeBron went down, things weren't looking too good either. But the Western Conference is just so jumbled up. that the Lakers were able to benefit from everybody pretty much playing 500 basketball and beating up on each other. So tonight, I am picking the Lakers to defeat the Phoenix Suns to at least have an opportunity to jump out of the play-in. You got the Rockets versus the Hornets in the Toilet Bowl tonight. Kevin Porter Jr. and Terry Rozier and company are going at it. I don't know who wins this game. I'm just gonna say the home team. The Charlotte Hornets are going to take care of take care of the Rockets tonight. Then you got the Pistons versus the Pacers. The Pacers had pretty interesting season. Tyrese Halliburton had a nice breakout season. Bojan Bogdanovic is proving that he's still a scorer in this league, even though he's on the Pistons. Again, I'm going with the home team. I'm expecting when it's two bad teams, I just expect the home team to take care of business for their crowd as they get ready to end their seasons. You also got the Heat versus the Wizards. The Heat, they've been playing great basketball. They took care of business last night as well in their victory over the Philadelphia 76ers. So I'm expecting the Heat to continue to be on the road. Jimmy Butler has publicly stated that he doesn't play real basketball until after the All-Star break. And so far, that's what he's been doing. The Heat have moved up in the standings, and they're trying to avoid the play-in. So if they can overtake Brooklyn, the Heat are in good shape to do so by winning tonight versus the Wizards. Now the Wizards ain't no pushovers, so it's not a given. But I'm picking the Heat to win tonight's game. You got the Sixers versus Hawks. Now this is a back-to-back for them. The Sixers don't really have much to gain in terms of playoff positioning, so I don't expect them to play Joel Embiid tonight versus the Hawks. The Hawks should get this win over the Sixers, so I'm picking the Hawks. You got the Raptors versus the Celtics. Now the Celtics, I'm not sure. I don't think they can catch Milwaukee anymore. So this might be another situation where starters aren't playing. The Raptors have stuff to play for. They have an opportunity to move up out of the situation that they're of having to play two games to get in and maybe just win one game if they could jump up to the eighth seed and take on either Miami or Brooklyn. They would love to do so. So the Raptors have something to play for. The Celtics do not. I'm definitely picking the Raptors to win that game tonight. We got the Magic versus the Nets. Brooklyn has a lot to play for if they want to avoid the play-in. Magic has an opportunity to play spoiler, so it's going to be a good game. The Magic have been playing pretty well since starting off pretty poorly. They've had some pretty good games this year, so I'm going to pick the Nets to win, though, because, well, actually, no, I'm going to pick the Magic in the upset, and that'll make things pretty interesting between Miami and Brooklyn. So, yeah, let's see if the Magic can pull this off tonight and play spoiler. Now, you have what would be the game of the night, or, on pretty much everybody's radar, the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Milwaukee Bucks. But again, you just don't know in both cases which players and which starters are going to be playing, who's going to be resting. So I'll pick the home team in the Bucks because regardless of who's been out there this season, they've been able to pull out wins. They won the other day without Giannis and Chris Middleton, and throughout the season they've had different lineups out there. Even during their 18, 19 game winning streak earlier this year, they just had different lineups out there to take care of business. So I'm going to pick the Bucks to win at home over the Grizzlies, but it should be a good one. Now, another important game tonight. The Knicks are pretty much where they're going to be, but it's the Knicks versus the Pelicans. Hopefully, Julius Randle's able to get back for the playoffs, but I don't know. I think he had a pretty bad ankle sprain. But the Pelicans are doing everything that they can to avoid the play-in tournament, and that right there, the Western Conference is still pretty jumbled up. But the Pelicans are at 41 and 39, so they're in the same situation that the Lakers are in right now, and they're trying to get to their 42nd win and hope that the Clippers and Golden State lose a couple of games down the stretch to put them in the position to jump to 5-6 and push those guys down to 7-8. So New Orleans has been playing really great basketball as of late. Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum and company, they're out there taking care of business. So we're going to see what happens tonight in that game versus the Knicks. The Knicks are still, man, Brunson is a dog, man, and he definitely is not going to roll over for the Pelicans so that they can have a better playoff positioning. But I'm gonna go with the Pelicans to win this game tonight. They know what's on the line. They've been delivering the last couple of weeks. In fact, they had a 10-game losing streak, I believe, at some point this season. And for them to be above 500 and to have an opportunity to at least secure a season that's above 500, shout out to those guys. So they're going to finish 500 or better regardless, but it'll be cool to get that 42nd win tonight. Then you also have the Bulls versus the Mavericks, which, man, DeMar DeRozan and company, Luka Doncic and company, the Bulls have the same exact record as the Mavericks, but the Bulls have already secured their play-in situation, and the Mavericks are looking to at least have a tie with the Oklahoma City Thunder, I believe, who are idle tonight. So if Dallas wins that game tonight, they'll be at 39-42 and pick up that half a game and have an opportunity to at least make the play-in if they do everything that they're supposed to do. So, oh man, I've been picking Dallas to win these games lately, and they just haven't been doing it. So maybe a little reverse psychology will work for them, and I'll say that the Bulls will win tonight, and maybe that'll encourage them to get a win. So now you got what would be another game of the night with the Warriors and the Kings. The Warriors have overcome their terrible season. They still suck on the road, but at least they've secured an above 500 win rate this year, and they're also in a position to not have to play in the play-in, so that's important for them. They cannot lose this game tonight, though. If they lose this game, they're in jeopardy of being in the play-in tournament, and all that talk about wanting to play Sacramento by Draymond Green, saying all this stuff about wanting to play Sacramento for geographical reasons will be out the window. So the Warriors have their work cut out for them tonight. Sacramento can play spoiler. It's interesting to see what they do tonight, what starters they put in. But they can definitely knock Golden State, the defending NBA champions, down a rung or two, and that would be catastrophic. Definitely cause shockwaves through the NBA if the Warriors fall into the play-in tournament and then miss the playoffs altogether after winning the championship last year. Man, that'd be crazy. It'd be interesting to hear what Draymond Green has to say on his podcasts. All right, there you have it. We've covered all the games tonight. It's going to be a great night for the NBA. And before we go, I have a new segment. We're going to do um, top three plays. Hold on, let me make sure. Let's see what this one is that I saw yesterday.
Out there by Monty Williams for the Suns.
Inside Jordan. Oh, beautiful sky move there by DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, DeAndre Jordan turned back the clock last night. Caught a beautiful reverse dunk. Remember, he was in Lob City, so he definitely did that against his former Lob City teammate Chris Paul. He's a member of Denver now, and nice little reverse dunk from him. Let's see what this one is.
Knocked away. Chanchar was there. Green galloping. The fake and the drive. Wow. 36-year-old Jeff Green.
Oh, there you go. That Uncle Jeff Green still catching bodies, man. I remember he had like some type of heart issue years ago, and he had to be out the league. And he's been back, and since he's been back, he's been catching bodies his whole career. Even at 36, he's still catching bodies. Um, let's see what this one is. I think this is Chris Paul hitting his career high seventh 3-pointer.
Booker will take it underneath his lane. Chris Paul with a three.
Butter. Nothing but butter.
25 points for Chris Paul.
7 made threes.
Yeah, there you have it. Top three plays of the night. I'm not sure how good those video qualities were, but we'll work on that. I think that's something that'd be cool to do. You got DeAndre Jordan catching a nice reverse dunk. You also got Chris Paul hitting his career high 7 3-pointer. And then you have DeAndre Jordan with his reverse dunk. And then you got Uncle Jeff Green still catching bodies. All right, guys, you got 11 games tonight. Should be NBA followers' dream. You guys have my picks. Make sure you guys like, comment, share. Let us know what your picks are for the night. And then you also have all of the Central family channels that we have, from Chicago Bulls Central to Chicago Bears Central. You got Chicago Sky Central. Chicago Cubs and White Sox Central. And then you also have the Cognac Boys, the Shot Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. We appreciate all y'all support, and we're going to holler at y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac